Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's continue with this second part of a three-part series on how to ace the Level 3 exam, give the graders what they're looking for, and not drive yourself crazy in the process. Okay, if you didn't watch my part one, where I talked about the first major error that I've seen candidates make who are trying to pass the Level 3 exam and is actually keeping them from passing Level 3 and actually getting their charter, again, this is Level 3, then I would suggest going back and actually watching it. I'm not going to really go over it again here. It doesn't make much sense. So I want to continue with the second error that many Level 3 candidates make that causes them to fail the exam and prevent them from getting the charter. So if you're interested, please press the subscribe button and the notifications bell if you haven't already, so that you can continue to receive these updates on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, because I really try not to waste your time, and I think you should listen to this entire thing through. So what is the second biggest error that I, as an instructor, as a mock exam, Level 3 mock exam grader, of doing this for close to 30 years, see people do often? The second biggest error is poor study plan. In fact, many times, no study plan or an ineffective study plan. Well, I guess, Nathan, you mean that if they don't work with you, they don't pass. No, I never said that. You can pass with other prep providers as well. You can pass even just reading on your own. But again, why put so much at risk and not have any kind of battle plan? Who goes into battle without a plan? Okay, not most people. Who goes to an interview without doing any kind of research about the company that they're about to interview with? Nobody does it. That's the whole point. Plan, and execute the plan. Just making a plan doesn't work, but you got to have to execute it. Okay, so let me sort of give you an example of things that I see all the time. In fact, I just got off the phone about 15 minutes ago with a candidate, Level 3 candidate, who's thinking about retaking the exam. They're not sure because they've already sat for the Level 3 exam twice, and they're kind of like gun shy now about how to prepare for it. They've never worked with me before. They wanted to know how I differ from other companies or other methodologies. And I asked them, well, how did you study for your Level 3 exam the last two times? And they said, well, I bought the materials, the study notes from XYZ company, and I read those, and then I did end of chapter questions in the CFA books, and I did some, questions in the Q Bank, and then I did about like 1 or 2 mock exams to practice. I hear this all the time. That is not studying for the Level 3 exam. That is just going through motions. Okay, going through the motions. You're not really doing anything. You're not integrating the concepts, and in fact, you have no study plan. Okay, that's not a study plan. Okay, first of all, the volume of material at Level 3 is not enormous. You have about 33 readings, and you can get through them very quickly, but they are deep. They do have depth, and that's definitely something you need to be concerned about, because in Level 1 and Level 2, you had much more topics, much more readings than you have at Level 3, but they were not as deep. Level 3 requires you to be able to show what you know. 50% of this exam is essays, okay? So because of the material and the depth, this is going to require a strategic approach. And buying prep notes or study notes and doing 2 mock exams is not a strategic approach, okay? I have a completely different methodology, completely different approach, much more structured. And I reveal all of that, and I work through that in a Zoom session with every candidate that joins me. And basically, I will lay out the 6 phases. I'll show you how to get through the material, the order. I'll show you how much time to spend on it based on your exam cycle. I will show you where you need to read, where you don't need to read, what you need to read, which mock exams to do, which mock exams to stay away from, how to do them, how to solve the essays, and you'll be all set. Forgetting about that, though. So the solution to an ineffective study plan or a poor study plan or no study plan at all is to actually create a personalized study plan from day one. And that you can do with me once you're signed up with me, and I can guarantee you it works. And it works very well and gets people through level 3 because they boosts their confidence. They don't feel like they've just read stuff and don't understand it and are hoping to pass the exam. Hope is not a strategy, by the way. Also, working with me after we create a personal study plan for you based on your exam cycle, your knowledge, your experience, your background, we're then going to also have bi-weekly progress goals or bi-weekly updates. I'm going to get on your account page and I'm going to show you exactly where you should be in line with the study plan and making sure that you're keeping up, that you're not falling behind, or that you're not progressing too far ahead. Steady wins the race. Okay. I'm also going to show you how to focus on the topics. As I said before, which readings to do first, which readings to leave later, how to do it, how to see everything again in an integrated manner. That's important. If you're going to read the materials in the level 3 pathway, the way the CFA Institute has it set up, or how many of the prep providers just follow it, you're not going to see the connections between the material. And when you get to the exam, you are going to get floored. And I want to mention this because this is important. A lot of times what candidates are expecting is when they go to do, especially the essays, they're expecting every essay question and even every item set to somehow be linear, that it's going to be right out of the book. And if they read it and studied the books, then they're going to be able to answer it. Many questions will be that way, but many questions will not be that way. CFA Institute is expecting something of you at level 3 that they don't expect as much at level 1 and level 2. And that is that you can integrate the concepts, okay? And you have to focus on the topics in a certain order so that you see it all come together. You can't be reading, for example, about, derivatives here and then leaving private wealth management all the way to the end. It doesn't work. Or you can't be reading about, a topic, for example, you can't be reading about capital market expectations here and then learning about the IPS later. It doesn't work together. You need to see things come together. That's what I do, and how to focus on the topics, okay? And then also, to make sure that you have structured study materials. PowerPoints are helpful, but again, PowerPoints many times, they force you to memorize, or they help you or encourage you to memorize rather than understand. And I'm all about understanding the concepts and then applying them, not memorizing them. So you do have to have structured study materials, and that's what you're going to have with me, because we're going to integrate the lecture videos with the CFA curriculum. And no, you're not going to have to read every page in the curriculum. But at the end of the day, let's get real here, people. Let's get real. Who's writing your exam? CFA Institute. Who's developing the CFA program? CFA Institute. Why would you want to use somebody else's materials before you even look at the CFA's materials? Oh, but it has too many pages and I'm a visual learner. Can't be a visual learner on the exam. You got to read. Okay, so again, I'm not going to encourage you to read every little iota in the CFA curriculum, but I'm definitely a proponent of the CFA curriculum. You want to have additional study notes, that's good as a supplement, but not as a replacement for the curriculum, especially at level 3 where you need to write essays or these constructed responses. So you definitely want, again, structured study materials. And I will set those up for you, and I will show you how everything all fits together. And level 3 will go from being a amorphous kind of like, where are they going with this, to a very clear pathway to passing the exam and getting your charter. I want to help you out. That concludes the second major error that candidates make in the level 3 program. And the next video is going to be about the third and final mistake, and then I'm going to wrap it up. So glad you listened so far, and go for video number 3 on this topic. Have a good day.